Now to the race for the White House and that clash between former President Bill Clinton and Black Lives Matter protesters making headlines this morning as the candidates hit the trail and battle for New York. That big primary here just 11 days away, and ABC's Tom Yamas is tracking it all for us. Good morning, Tom.
Amy, good morning to you. A lot to get to in the race for president, a sort of competition to prove who's the biggest New Yorker. And as you mentioned, the former president in the middle of a powerful campaign moment.
Now, wait a minute. I listen to you. You listen to me.
This morning, former President Bill Clinton showing he still has plenty of fight, taking on demonstrators at a campaign stop in Philadelphia.
Here's the thing. I like protesters, but the ones that won't let you answer are afraid of the truth.
The Black Lives Matter protesters objecting to the 1994 Criminal Justice Reform Bill, which Bill Clinton signed into law as president. They argue the bill sent a disproportionate amount of African Americans to prison.
I don't know how you would characterize the gang leaders who got 13-year-old kids hopped up on crack and sent them out onto the street to murder other African American children. Maybe you thought they were good citizens. She didn't. She didn't. You are defending the people who kill the lives you say matter.
And in New York, the race for president turning into a subway series. Hillary Clinton opting for the 4 train, where she struggled with her Metro card, swiping it 5 times before it worked, while Senator Bernie Sanders strolled to a local diner, both questioning one another about who is more qualified to hold office.
You know, if you want to question my qualifications, let me suggest this, that maybe the American people might wonder about your qualifications, Madam Secretary, when you voted for the war in Iraq, the most disastrous foreign policy blunder in the modern history of America.
Well, it's kind of a silly thing to say, but I'm going to trust the voters of New York who know me and have voted for me 3 times, twice for Senate, once in the presidential primary.
Another New York native also firing back at Clinton.
She hasn't been in the subway in 20 years, if she was ever in the subway, and it's so bad. You know, the picture of her riding around it's called pandering, it's so bad.
And across town near Coney Island, Senator Ted Cruz getting a warm reception after a rocky start in the Big Apple.
Would you like to make holes in your matzah?
I would love to make holes.
Touring a Brooklyn matzah factory, making unleavened bread ahead of Passover.
There we go.
But not ready to break bread with Cruz, New York's mayor during 9/11, Rudy Giuliani, saying he's voting for Trump and telling Cruz, quote, "It's New York City, we're family. I can make fun of New York, but you can't." But Cruz undeterred and not running away from the New York values label he put on Trump.
Because everyone in New York and outside of New York knows exactly what I meant by that. And it is the liberal values of Democratic politicians who have been hammering the people of New York for decades.
Now, we should note Rudy Giuliani is voting for Trump, but technically not endorsing him. Trump has done some things that apparently Rudy doesn't like, including some of Trump's tweeting. So now Melania and Rudy Giuliani telling Trump to lay off Twitter a little bit.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much.